Welcome back, guys. So again, today we have Rina with us to explain all the financial things you need to know before applying your housing loan. And if you just followed the series so far, you would know the sequencing, right? So it's designed in a way where you get to know one by one. And I kind of label it episode 1, 2, 3. So if you are liking the series so far, so please do subscribe the channel. It will help me get her back right? If not like, hey, nobody watch, why want to come back? So let's say right? And the next plan for this kind of series is also to get in legal, maybe from their side, and then to get in more experienced people to share. So everybody gets, but the platform needs to be presentable, right? So do share with your friends if you find this helpful, right? I am still learning, so it's pretty cool that we have Rina with us. Today, we are going to talk about the main reasons why different income segment people having loan rejection issues, right? So the main 3 different income earners is
employee, which means you're earning a fixed income on a monthly basis. Full-time commission earner, for example, property agent, insurance agent. Last, I think, common one, businessman, self-employed. So I think these are the 3 income segment.
There's one more, investment-based one.
Investment
Meaning
holding company.
Means that there's a comment in the video saying that his income purely from share dividends and investments. So
High net worth.
very high, I think. I guess if the dividend can feed him, right, 5% of his net worth can feed him, I think it's a lot.
So another one I think is not everyone can practice. Not sure, Sean.
No,
it's the high net worth lah. Even though right now your income, all these, you don't have a proper pay slip. Black and white document is not so good. As long as you able to prove to the bank you have a certain net worth, 1 million, depends on which bank. Yes.
No, but then if how do I declare dividends? Maybank pays me dividend every half a year, I think.
This one, if let's say you want to treat as your normal income, case to case, not all the bank actually take this dividend as part of your income one. So the income that's recognized by the bank, of course, your gross salary, your allowances, your bonuses, fixed bonus, performance bonus, and then your part-time OT commission, all this. Dividend from FD, dividend from any other thing, not actually, not all the bank actually recognize.
Oh, so again, it's a bank-to-bank kind of thing. Oh.
I mean, the one that I mentioned on the income one, yes. If you have it, the bank will sure recognize, but depends on how many percentage. So allowances, some bank they take 70%, some they take 80%. So case to case.
Cool. Okay, so I hope you're watching. Okay, so we go deep dive into employee. So usually, actually, if you go to any banks, they'll give you this requirement on data or documents they want.
Checklist
The checklist. I think so all are the same one. They all look at the same. Just only when you cannot approve, they ask for more. In our world, if you're going to buy property next year, you got to start getting ready this year. So that's how we look at it. You need to prep all your finances, all your secrets and all before we buy the next one. That's why these kind of segments becomes very important. And let's deep dive into income earners, employees. What are the main reasons why loan rejects?
First one, salary not tally with whatever that is credited to your bank account. So, okay. For example, your payslip, your net income after minus all this EP4, so PCB deduction is at 5,000 net. So by right, this 5,000 should bank in by your employer into your bank account, right? 5,000, black and white in your bank statement, it show 5,000. But your bank statement show 4,200, and then the next month, 4,005, 4,008. It's not as per your payslip, your employer give you, it's like 5,000 net. So this one, we call it your salary not tally already. So the bank credit will ask why not same? So it's either your HR, oops, okay.
I am facing this, not now, but in my previous employee, they have a late deduction penalty. Then I'm always late. So every time I late, they deduct $10, $15. So I per month I deduct $100 over, $200. It shows. So my income then becomes irregular. Then I cannot buy property.
Later treat you as a commission.
Yeah, so I think it's very important. I think one good fact. Fact number 1. Why all the facts all I kena one?
Yeah.
Okay, point number 2.
I think as an employee, makes sense everyone have this EPF caruman lah. EPF contribution. So if let's say you are working as a fixed income earner, okay, but without EPF contribution, no caruman EPF one. Then that will be question like, how come this company don't do caruman for the employee? That kind of question. So
Banks also care. Because of that, I don't approve your loan.
yeah, they will have this mindset of thinking to say that, maybe this employment or
not
this
legal,
company is not so
legit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Not to say 100% you don't have EPF contribution, your loan sure get rejected. But some bank, yes, upfront reject without EPF contribution, especially if you're a full-time employee. Commission earner, self-employed, no EPF contribution kind of like makes sense, but not to the fixed income earner lah. I mean, imagine you are working with an MNC company, but I mean in Malaysia here, but without EPF.
A bit weird lah, right?
It's weird.
Okay.
Yep. So that's the second one lah.
Then the next one we have. This one is good.
Anyone currently under probation period? So which means you just join in this company for like 1 or 2 months, and the company, in your employment letter to stated that you are currently have to serve the probation period for 6 months. And right now you are in the midst of you want to submit your loan, especially housing loan. So please be careful, because employment-wise, the bank credit will say that maybe you haven't get a stable job or permanent job.
So does it apply to contracts as well?
Yeah. So for example, government servant also have contract one, if you're aware. So contract government servant, one bank can't do. Start with MB. Okay. The rest of the bank depends. If let's say you are under contract basis of less than 3 months, or not less than 3 months is too short lah. For example, less than 6 months. Then some bank just consider, should I give you a lot of things need to story lah. But if let's say your contract is above 6 months, then most likely a lot of bank can do.
So 1 year, annual contracts are fine.
Yes, correct. As long as it's renewable lah. But those short one.
After MCO, a lot of people got turned into contracts because the company don't know whether it can sustain or not. So their concern is, without contract, then suddenly I can pay you more. Because you don't have all the EPF, all this kind of thing already.
Yep, contract salary is actually slight
higher. So some they worry that, for a higher salary, is it worth with the risk of getting rejected more for loans?
Which means also the company will have this tendency to,
yeah. I guess, so when you say it's 6 months and this is a guideline, it's not for sure. Different banks will have different preference again, right?
Correct. But if let's say definitely less than 3 months, that kind of contract tak jalan lah. Less than 6 months still can try. Still can try. Because it depends also on the nature of your job. Some, for example, oil and gas, offshore, contract one, kind of makes sense. You jump company, contract basis. Yes, that one can.
Oh, that one pay very high one.
So case to case basis, I will not say all.
Cool. Then the next one is
a huge increase in your salary lah.
That's a problem.
That's a highlight lah. That's the problem to the banker to story back to the credit, right? So imagine, the basic documentation is normally, if let's say you are fixed income earner, we request for latest 3 months So let's say last month is your income net is at 8,000. Then the month before is actually just 4,000. So a jump of a 50% increase. Then we as a banker or whatsoever, we have to justify this thing when we submit your case lah. You can't just blindly
get promotion.
Pretend don't know, submit like that, because most likely the credit will ask one, why suddenly there's a huge increase of 50%? Because normally when it comes to increment, I think a lot of company practice also
10, 15.
Yeah, or max at 30%. Okay, so 50%, that kind of salary adjustment. When I talk about adjustment, the meaning lah. Some they issue pay slip. People will, the bank credit will kind of smell it. What one do one
illegal lah. So I think what she's trying to hint is, I'll just say out is people faking income slips And sometimes like when I ask bankers, why you all ask so many documentation, right? You must look at the income where my income statement where the money is credited into my bank account, then from which bank. I think this is also a big thing. Like I didn't know. An audience where his salary is 4,500, but it was banked in by the boss's personal account, not company account.
Fishy also.
Then like by right, a company should pay you, why is it the boss that pays you? But then like the income statement whatever all got but then like the banks, so when they go to the loan officer, like why am I rejected? Because people transfer, like do it over to you,
Like your friend transfer money to you, right?
Every month friend transfer is not a pay, but I got pay slip, what? No, it cannot. Then like, from what account also it matters. Then because a lot of people now worry that they cannot buy property, there's this facility outside that's given by all these dodgy people, right? You come into my company, you are hired for 6 to 8 months, 9 months, right? Because banks only look 6 months, so I just need to make you my employee for 6 months. I pay EPF for you, whatever. Also, it's charged under your name one. Then eventually, when you have suddenly you are a GM of the company, you get monthly salary of 12,000 for 6 months. Then you qualify for the loan, multiple loans, right? Then whatever cashback I get back, I will take my share and I give you back the rest. Then suddenly you are back to your normal salary where you couldn't afford all this property and you are no longer my employee. So a lot of these things are going on and bankers know, right? So they were blind for that first few attempts, but after when shit hits the fan, right, then all these are exposed right now. So don't do it, right? Like what we are teaching here is why it's rejected. It's not for you to engineer your pay slip and all. So that's very sad, but I think it's a good thing that you bring it up.
I mean, if let's say your income is, your current legit income is not bankable, don't try to make magic or be smart of doing something else. Like I mentioned, I know a lot of companies do all this
engineering.
For the sake to get cash back, right? But be careful on practicing this, don't do it at all.
Yeah. It's easier to just don't do it because borderline you are actually committing fraud. Right? So it's a very, very big issue, So if you cannot afford for the property, it's not the end of the world one. Buy something that is within affordability. It's not like for sure the property make money, right? So everyone have this mindset, if I don't buy, I lose money. No, you just made less. Right? So it's not worth the risk based on personal experience and the stories that we get from clients. All of them regret. Moving on. Fifth one is employment.
Employment verification not fulfilled. For example, if let's say the bank credit call into your company HR.
We don't have this employee.
Email to HR. Suddenly, your HR gave the wrong information. For example, hey, let's say I'm the bank credit officer, right? I do a mystery check on your company. Hey, is Sean working in this company? What's his position? Blah blah blah.
It just happened.
If let's say it's not match the info that we submitted,
Yeah, my position actually mismatched.
That kind of situation.
So then they call me again. They're like, Sean, what position are you in the company? Why? Are you a headhunter? No, we are calling from the bank. Oh shit.
Or some, when the bank credit, they want to verify whether you are really working there, they just send an email. So as long as your HR revert back on the email, then yes, we call it the verification.
Cool.
Which is also quite important. But not all the bank credit actually practice this to do the employment checking.
So this portion of the discussion is important, especially for those who, like me, we makan gaji one. There's a very important segment, like although money comes in steadily every month, but you need to check the source, prepare all the statements and all on times. So in my computer, like all my records are up to date by month. So that I think anytime you got deal, the loan can be set
ready.
Ready. Because the preparation to all these documents is the one that a lot of people cannot fulfill. Because good deals don't wait for you. Right? So I got this rejected when you want or not. Okay. submit. Do take note on all this, like we talk about the salary not tally, the no EPF, probation or contract, sudden increment in salaries. Those are, if you can justify from the company, right? If it's the same company, then suddenly because of some project you created, then you make a lot more, it's fine, right? But then if it's engineered, right, everyone can sniff it out one. So don't even try, right? Then the employment verification. So if you don't work there, but you say you work there. The weirdest thing is like, can you provide your employment letter, confirmation letter? So that was the worst. Like 2-3 years ago, it was a big thing. How long only is considered stable? Like whenever banks ask you, how long you work in this existing company?
Easily, I would say 6 months above lah. Because standard period probation is 3 to 6 months. So after you pass the probation period, so once you get a permanent position in that particular company, we call that you are permanent stable on a bank side point of view lah.
Last time I always put 2 years so people don't stop.
I only 2 years.
A lot of people question me on I actually forget how long I work in this company already.
I mean, if regarding this one, even let's say talking about the increment in salary, right? Let's say suddenly this month you get an increment of 2,000 from initial let's say 5,000, you get increment 2,000. Make sure not the one that we mentioned 50%, that kind. It's a legit kind of increment. Your DSR or whatsoever calculation is already automatically based on your latest new salary already, which is the 7,000. To calculate.
So like let's
even
say,
though it's 1 month.
Even though it's in 1 month.
Yeah.
So let's say I got 5 months, 5,000, suddenly I 7,500.
And you submit this month. So it will be based on that new salary already.
Okay. Then a problem that I always face is bankers ask for more months because of Chinese New Year months, because that's where always bonus comes in. Then some companies will give you a separate slip for bonus. Some companies don't. So they just lump sum give you like that, right? So the irregularity, so they don't know how to calculate how much is bonus. Then in this case, right, how banks look at bonus or incentives?
Normally, whenever there's an increment, you can request from the company HR on your increment. So this letter is actually sufficient enough. From your old salary, how much is your current new increment, new salary?
But bonus?
Bonus normally is also additional. For example, if let's say it's the same pay slip, right? On top of the bonus, you will have your basic salary. Very rare case that you sum up both and then you say it's a basic salary.
Okay, so the keyword here is basic not total.
Yeah, the gross salary and then your OT, your allowance, and then your bonus, performance bonus.
Then my question is, to what percentage banks calculate bonus?
Bonus, okay, it depends, case to case basis, depends on banks also. First one, some of the bank, if let's say you are getting performance bonus, not the fixed one, then they don't recognize. Okay, even let's say they recognize, they will get, for example, average 50%. Okay, provided the company is MNC.
Okay.
So here I repeat again, if let's say the company is non-MNC GLC, you are getting a performance bonus. Some bank don't recognize one. I don't want to mention which bank. It's not good here. Okay. But if let's say performance bonus MNC, yep.
So because it's quite standard 13 months salary right? I think a lot of MNC practice that
Can say so. Yep, correct.
So like for a bit China companies like
those small company performance bonus, so it's case to case lah. Yeah.
Wow. So I should go for higher salary, don't care about bonus when I look for a new job right? Because it actually helps. Because like if you give me, we give our last year we give 6 months bonus, but your income this month is now is 3,008. But if you go to another company, it's 4,005, but they give you 1 month bonus. So from an eye of a loan, right? Actually, 4,005 makes more sense.
And some bank actually, in order to recognize your bonus, must be at least 2 years.
Consistent.
Yeah. So 1 year, they don't recognize the bonus liao.
High bonus means nothing But actually,
cannot say nothing lah. It's money also.
But after every time they give this year we give 3 months bonus, but after you minus all tax, right? Left 2 months plus 1.5.
Yeah, bonus will minus all your tax PCB one.
Anyway, like this is the only thing, 2 things is guaranteed in life. One is death, one is tax. Cool fact. So that is for employees. So the next one, we're going to talk about why banks reject loans for commission earners lah. So this includes insurance agents, real estate agents, unit trust agents lah. So these are the people who really hustle. Direct sellers, direct marketing sellers also, right?
So this kind of income segment, first, of course, is makes sense. They don't have EPF contribution lah. Not like just now when we mentioned a full-time employee fixed income earner is a logic or must for you to have an EPF contribution. The first one, same as the fixed income earner, income not tally. You earn this month 10,000, but credited to your bank is only like 9,600.
Oh, when you say don't tally means the income statement and the pay slip.
Yeah, pay slip not tally lah. Same as the fixed income earner. Okay, that's I think the common one as well lah. Because some they minus out your cost of as an agent, minus your cost of operation, your claim, all this thing. So have some of the situation that your payslip is only your commission, and then minus all these expenses that you claim from the company, but the amount the commission credited to your bank is actually your just based on your commission, your net commission. So kind of like not tally already.
Okay.
So we need to do some story or mitigation on that part.
Wow, never knew that all these were so important. Yeah, like, all I care about the amount in the bank anymore, right?
Next one is I think it's talking about on a monthly basis of your income as well, because it's not like the same full fixed income earner. On a monthly basis, no matter you hustle, not hustle, also you get a 5,000 net like that one. So commission earner is based on how hard you hustle. So in this case, which means also your income is fluctuating on a monthly basis. So if let's say the fluctuation is too huge, what I mean is more than 30% differences. The first of all, it will affect is your calculation in terms of your income already. Second thing is the bank will be like a bit not comfortable. This guy, the income seems like not so stable. So if let's say they want to give you a loan, maybe they will just take in 50% for your past average 6 months rather than 70-80%.
Oh, because in my mind, it's real estate agents, right? 1 month I can make 50. The next 2 months, 0. 5,000 for claims, then 0. Then another 200,000. But it's all, and especially for project-based agents, the commission release is one go one ma.
Yeah, it's quite unfair actually.
So it means that let's say if it one go on, let's say lump sum give me 300,000 on salary on my commission. So the difference here is the percentage of calculation. So some banks take 50% of it only. Then divide by 12.
No, your past 6 months salary. Okay, and then you just take in, for example, if let's say the fluctuation is too huge, maybe the bank just recognize and take in 50% from that.
Aiyo.
Of course, certain banks, no matter how huge is your fluctuation, they will still take 100%.
Oh, again bank to bank lah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this kind of answers only she can answer in her DMs, right? So you can go to her Facebook page and follow her. I'll put a link down below.
I mean, it's talking about the bank appetite. For example, Bank Harimau, just upfront tell you guys, they really like government servant or fixed income earner. But some bank, they actually love the profile of those
Riskier one.
hustle income, commission earner people. They love that. Or businessmen. So the calculation or the guideline is more towards this kind of income segment people. So that's why I say, first of all, know which one is your income segment, especially commission earner or self-employed. Which bank actually best 2 or best 3.
What if it's a mix? Let's say like a medical sales rep, right? You have a fix, then you commission some good month, some bad month. So like we say 30%, is that a guide or is it a...
This kind of case or situation is actually we can partially treat it as a fixed income earner already, because as long as you have a fixed basic salary, it's quite safe to say that because the bank will recognize 80 to 100% on your basic already. Then the remaining everything OT, variable income, they will just see how big is the fluctuation. So and the second question would be, is that belongs to the same company? Your OT commission that you earn plus the basic.
OT different company.
Hey, got marketing one.
Yeah.
It's quite normal.
Okay, so the next one for commission earners. This is no borang BE.
No borang BE, which means you
You didn't pay tax.
you haven't declared your income tax. I think a lot of people don't know what's a borang B, borang BE. It's actually the tax that you file into LHDN lah. So this is what we call your statement. That one is called borang BE. Insurance agent, unit trust agent, or property agent that's new to this industry, right? For example, less than 1 year. So haven't until the time you can declare tax mah. Okay. So some of the bank is compulsory as a full-time commission earner. They will look at both things, which is your payment voucher for the last 6 months, plus your income tax for last year, the latest year. So if let's say you don't have income tax, cannot as well. So you go for the bank that don't need the income tax lah.
Oh, again, there will be all this kind of special clause lah, right? Special preferences. If it's Porang B and BE, so for those income earners, like you said, they don't recognize, right?
Not they don't recognize, is they want to see whether the income that you declared last year is that almost the same as whatever you are earning right now as par, or you are earning so much lesser or so much higher. So that's the main reason why they want to see back your last year income tax. Of course, another thing is they want to see whether this guy already stable or not. Hey, already like 2 or 3 or 4 years in this industry, stuff like that.
I got fixed salary and I got side hustle. So now it's to look at the source of income you mentioned, right?
Yep.
If it's from the same company, then why? If it's not from the same company, then why? Then is it consistent or not? Then only banks will consider whether to take them into account or not.
Correct.
Again, it's case-to-case basis, right? So that's the beautiful part of this, I guess. Just when you think that, oh, cannot, still can. Try, unless you got Rina lor. like for me, like, yay! All my maybe is yay! Right? Then the last one is no employment verification. So it's pretty much the same lah. When I call in the realty agency or the marketing agency, this guy is not an employee lah. Or they left us 3 months ago or whatsoever lah.
Or some, we thorough submit your employment confirmation letter first so that the credit don't have this chance to ask, Same goes to commission earner. We get the name card, we get the employment confirmation letter, we upfront submit first lah.
So as income earners, usually like agents, you will need past track records. I think that's very important lah. If I am part-time agent, so I got a full-time, so every month I'm working like 5,000, right? Then suddenly I got commission. So then how would a bank look at it?
Full-time, that job is also as another job lah. Totally not the same.
Because now everybody can work from home, so I'm considered working, but I actually go and sell property.
The bank that can do for this kind of profile, which means your full-time employment is actually under company A.
So let's say this is one. I work in a company, I get 5,000 salary. Then on my free time, on and off, I will earn from 1K to 8K. So how does this include in my income? Like how does the bank look at it?
So in this case, we will say that technically you have 2 employment already. So from company A and company B. And the second thing will be the nature of your job too, is that the same? So I give an example, if let's say your company A, you're acting as a marketing agent. Company B also you're doing as a marketing agent. This kind of a situation, when we story your profile, it's kind of like makes sense to link because it's the same nature of the job. Okay, but let me give you an example. Another one.
I office job here.
Accountant. It's quite makes sense for accountant to have different company one mah. That one also is acceptable. Even though let's say you are accountant, both company also do a charuma EPF for you, can. Because it's professional and it's really like quite common lah. But if let's say another situation, you are currently, a pharmacist working with the government, and then suddenly you are part-time selling property as an agent. Then it's case-to-case basis to really know which bank recognize these 2 income. Yeah, these 2 income.
Yeah, for me, when I was doing direct selling, right, this was my problem. Then I don't know whether the bank is... Apparently, the bank didn't.
Because even though, let's say, different kind of nature of the job, different company, the next question will be, even though the bank that you apply want to give you the loan, they will ask, your second job actually did you declare tax or not? So for them, it's let's say you tak declare tax is something not bankable as their point of view. So it will also lead to this kind of question. Then which bank actually don't need the income tax? Yeah.
The solution to
This
that
one-
is Rena's DM.
This one is really advanced and complicated kind of like case lah. First, as a banker, how well you story up the profile for the purchaser, and the second one, of course, I would say it's more to the mortgage broker lah. Because if let's say I'm today coming in as a public banker, then I'll just submit the case based on public guideline and calculation, right? I will not tell you, hey Sean, this kind of situation you can try bank start with C. Okay. Yeah. So it's totally different things.
Okay lah. So I get what you mean. So let's say like for my case, I got A, B, then I got some C, then I got D, then I got YouTube E. Right? Am I putting myself in a drain right now? But anyway, so then it depends on how do I categorize all this income already, right?
Correct.
Then based on this, the mortgage banker, the difference is a banker for one bank follows that policy. But if a mortgage banker knows everyone's policy, then see which one prefer you more. So I think that's the keyword. Then they are a mortgage banker because they deal with all banks, right? Because they follow the company, not the banks. Yeah. So again, if you have this kind of situation, which is a good problem, just that you need an experienced mortgage banker lor. Yeah, I guess that's the tough part though. Meaning, I'm sorry. So if
Next.
So the next one will be the self-employed. So self-employed means business owners lah, right?
Correct.
Because if you
So,
are big enough, then you got salary already, then you are a corporation already. So it's a different thing. Okay.
business owner, correct. But many people, I think, confuse the words self-employed business owner. For example, her media, right, today. So Sean, you have a company. So tak kisah this one is a Sendirian Berhad or sole prop or partnership or anything. So you are considered as the boss for this company. So it's kind of like makes sense that boss issue payslip to themselves. So it can be this situation, right? You are issue. Okay.
Yeah.
So this kind of situation is another one is you are acting as the director for this company as well. First one, you issue payslip on a monthly income to yourself. Second one, you also issue a monthly directorship income to yourself.
Which I'm not doing. Shit. Okay.
Okay, so what I mean by self-employed is you are not using the company, for example, iherng Media, to buy the property.
Oh, okay. It's using my own name as iherng to buy as the director and the employee.
Correct. Even though you are the own boss for this company. So for example, the SPA, if let's say it's under your individual name, for example, iherng, then in this case, it's not you purchase under company already.
Yep.
But everything, the income that should be derived under your individual purchasing is actually kind of like from your company revenue, I would say. Because let's look at first one is how matured is this company? So we base on the SSM registration date. Anything the company less than 2 years, I think majority of the bank, they will say that no go at all. You don't even have to submit your profile to buy. The requirement, the first one, based on your SSM registration date for your company, must be at least 2 years and above. Some bank even 5 years.
This means if I'm submitting as a personal,
Correct.
my company is not.
No. But they will still look back at your company overall details, right? Because everything is, like I say, you are the own boss for this company, but you are not buying under this company, but it will be derived based on your company performance.
No wonder like when I was working with public listed companies, straight away they see the name, okay, approve.
Of course, the fixed income earner is so much easier when you compare to commission earner and self-employed. That's for sure.
Okay.
Paling cake one is this self-employed.
Okay. But this is where people actually make a lot of money lah, right? So when people make a lot of money, then 2 years cannot buy property. Wow, quite suffering actually for me. For me lah, okay, sorry. Then that's the SSM part.
Yep. The next two will be your company bank statement is actually low transaction, which means the in and out. The transaction is quite little on a monthly basis. So for example, if let's say you are business as a F&B,
It must be
very logic,
daily,
it must be daily in out transaction one. If let's say this kind of business, when we see your bank statement,
So quiet.
baru 1 or 2 transaction, no good already.
Okay.
Then another thing will be your bank statement ending balance. is that always on a monthly basis, very low ending balance. Low, which means it's easily less than 50,000 is considered low.
Less than 50,000. Okay, that's the keyword that I only hear. Okay.
Majority bank will actually request both document ready, which is your borang B, your income tax, and the second one, they will look at your latest 6 months company bank statement. So when they see the transaction is quite weak, even though you declare quite a bit of good income tax, right? Still people will question the bank credit, which means you trying to get the loan, you prep yourself and then you over declare.
Wow, this one tough.
Yeah. Self-employed is hard.
Then the next one is credit transaction.
Anything, for example, if let's say the current credit transaction is more than 50,000 in your bank statement, right? One huge amount from third party or another company transact to you, 50,000 is considered huge. So the bank will need a certain invoice or receipt to say, this 50,000 is actually what kind of business, what purpose? Because it can be some, your friend.
I pump in money so you can qualify for loan. Then you pump in back, then you pump back out.
Correct.
Wow, that's a good friend.
So bank is not stupid lah.
So 50,000 it's relative means that if I'm a property company, then it would actually worth more, right?
Yeah, which means also it must be, for example, it's kind of like makes sense if let's say the business is a construction company. Construction is quite normal. The in-out transaction is 100,000, 200,000. One, I get one project, then the money in. So that one is justifiable based on your company business. But if anything that, for example, printing lah, F&B lah, all this, 50,000.
But then as long as got invoice to justify, then okay lah. Okay, it's not like a sudden donation lah, right?
Yeah, especially, check deposit, that kind without a company name in your bank statement, it's quite dodgy and fishy lah.
Noted. I think
thinking something.
No, I think because there's no information like that out there. And the fact that you are spilling all this out, right, which is damn nice. So the next,
hopefully no bank credit officer is looking at this.
I think you are helping everybody else also. So like everyone now knows what are they looking at. So we will pay more attention. Like when we are running and executing operations for businesses, right? Accounts, where got time to actually look at it? I pass over to you first. You hold the money. Suddenly that will screw up your entire thing. Then wow, is it worth it in that sense?
I mean, of course, when we talk about this, the job you mentioned, I have an accountant will help me to juggle all these my transaction. But the thing is,
accountant don't know this
the accountant will just help you to run tax lah, how much you should declare lah, stuff like that. But they will not help you to make sure that you are bankable to the bank to get a loan one . So it's totally different thing.
It's tough. It's very tough, especially for new businesses. So the only way forward is patience lah. Right? Really get your books all together. Ultimately, you need to really make money. They want to diversify money, right? So not easy. Well, I hope this episode is helping. But if you really enjoy, right, do remember to hit the subscribe button so I can get more guests like this over.
If let's say your audited report or your profit and loss report is actually declare loss one, I mean for the sake because you don't want to pay so much tax, right? Your accountant mentioned to you. So in your CTOS actually is negative profit. So in this case, the bank will negative, the company is not making money, it seems like. So maybe they pause a little bit, see whether want to give you the loan or not lah. So when the company is declaring lost profit and it show in your CTOS, they need to be careful also.
You need to think about taxation, need to think about income streams, need to think about
maintenance of your auditor report of profit and loss.
Yeah. Then on every month, the balance cannot go out too much. So then the last one is the...
I think this one is based on the general one, if you have any bad record.
Or when your company wants to sue you.
Court case, anything. Correct. So basically sum up.
Okay. Question here is if I'm a director, only I'm a problem if the company is in a legal suit.
Technically, I would say no. For example, if let's say I'm working at the company as an employee, fixed income earner, but this particular company gonna sue by someone. So far, the cases I tried, no issue. But if let's say you are the boss for this company, director, or you hold a majority of the shares, then yes, it's a problem. Because the thing is, as an employee, the bank will not go and check your company. They will only check your own individual profile.
And this has no correlation, like is it a sole prop or a Sendian Berhad or whatever lah, right? So I guess that sums it all up. So much respect for business owners now. So we kind of discuss employees, commission earners, and business owners lah. So like for investors, it's now like if my income only comes derived from my share dividends and my profit from my trading. So how does that work? Like if I'm so good in crypto trading, right?
So that one, if let's say you are the trader, most likely, I think what you need to do right now is make sure you declare the income tax. We just submit your income derived from your income tax. That's it. Because the company bank statement is really hard to justify. So it's more to we package you as a self-employed because you don't have a payslip eventually. Very hard to justify your income is stable. Okay. So normally we just make sure if let's say you don't even have an income tax, then it's hard already. Because
I can understand like for share markets, right, when they give us dividends, it's non-taxable, I guess. Then if you make profits from share, also it's non-taxable. Now, because of you wanting to buy a property, you need to declare income tax. Then that becomes a taxable income. So then you need to pay. And it's entirely up to you. Do you want the property or do you want to? I don't know, right? So you are in that position. Maybe you can speak to a tax consultant to help you more about it, right? How do you engineer it, or because something you need to pay tax, something you don't need like if I make profits from a share, I don't have to pay but right?
Yeah, I think a businessman, self-employed, definitely you need someone
a tax advisor
but not until extent you need to hire a auditor. I think at least a tax consultant is very, very important in this case.
So I guess if you guys have any more questions, right, a little bit more personal, if you're okay, you can actually put in the comment section, then everybody can study and read about it. If you are a bit too shy, it's a little bit too personal, you can DM me or you can DM her because we meet quite often now, right? Because I want to buy more property.
I think that's all to sum up for basically this 3 income segment. What's the reason your loan, if you don't make all this mistake, so the possibility of your loan get approved is very, very, very high lah.
Ultimately, it's to approve your application for loan. Ultimately, that's the goal, right, for you to buy the property of your choice. And with that, thank you very much, Rina. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Ciao.